Hello aspirants. Introducing the Quick Revision Classes program for UPSC Civil Services Prelims Examination 2024, exclusively by Vision IAS. It is designed to provide a targeted, relevant and time-efficient classroom revision before the UPSC Prelims. Based on our intelligently designed document popularly known as Quick Revision Module, we have structured innovative 32 classes which focus on high-yielding topics across core subjects for smart learning. Gain experience with thematic coverage across essential GS subjects such as polity, economy, environment, geography, history and more, with our Quick Revision Module, developed for maximum recall and retention. Our program includes personalized one-to-one mentorship, crafted to navigate you through your revision journey with precise preparation inputs. Moreover, regularly assess your preparation and adapt with our online sectional mini-tests, designed for performance tracking and improvement. Start your UPSC revision journey towards success with us on 12th April and gain motivation, enhance exam readiness, and efficient management of time and resources. Register now at our website. For further any queries, reach out to us at 8468022022, 9019066066 or enquiry@visionias.in. Your success is our pride. Step up your UPSC CSE prep with tech-enabled expertise. Unpack the UPSC CSE curriculum with the GS Foundation Course 2025 at Vision IAS Delhi. Leap into a new era of learning with animations, interactive sessions, videos, and demystify the toughest topics. Experience unmatched flexibility with live online classes, real-time doubt clearing, and an extensive library of recorded lectures and educational materials. Step into the world of UPSC CSE preparation and navigate your way to success. Join the Vision IAS Delhi GS Foundation Course 2025 batches commencing 23rd April, 5:30 p.m. 30th April, 1 p.m. Hello aspirants. Ever feel like you're always one step behind in your UPSC prelims preparation, no matter how much you study? In a process where every mark counts, are you sure you're not missing out on something that could give you the forehand knowledge? Imagine a method so effective that every 1 in 3 of the top 50 UPSC selected candidates attempted it. This method is none other than the Vision IAS Abhyas Prelims. Let's hear from them.
Abhyas, I appeared for Abhyas 2022 ka.
So I was associated with their Abhyas, both prelims and mains.
This is the right moment. With this exposure, you gain the right dose of practice, detailed analysis of your performance, and awareness about successful strategies. The experience you've been looking for? It's right here with Abhyas Prelims 2024. Don't let this opportunity lie unused.
So hi, good afternoon. All good? So now we are already into which questions, art and culture questions, and Buddhism and Jainism we were doing. So let me go to the page, it is 71. We were on page number 85. So this was the question which we were looking at. So chalo, let's start with it. So the question number this 8. So with reference to Indian history, consider the following text. So these are from the Jainism literature, okay? And what they have asked that which of the above are the Jain text? Neti, it is not Prakarad, it is Pakarad, okay? Neti Pakarad, Prasisti Parvan, Avadana Satak, and Trishasti Lakshana Mahapuran. So it's a question from the Jain literature, and moreover that very first one, Neti Prakarad, is a Buddhist text. Prasisti Parvan, that in the Jain text only this one are there, 2 and 4 are there. Then so Avadan Sataka is the one which we generally talk about. And what is Avadan Sataka? That whenever we talk about the construction of the stupa, and in the construction of the stupa, why Ashoka created so many stupas? That thousands, and it is said that he created 84,000 stupa, but then it is an exaggerated fact, right? That he created 84,000 stupas. So out of the 84,000 stupas, whichever he has created, uh, it was all according to the Avadana Sutra, which is also called as Avadana Satak. So we generally refer in the classes that is Avadana Sutra, and there is even category of the writing which is called as aphorisms. Then so aphorisms are called as sutra. Then and this is in a aphorism form. Okay. So Avadana Satak, Avadana Sutra are the same name. इसमें UPSC ने बस change किया है Avadana Satak. Then if it would have been the Avadana Sutra, so easily answer पे eliminate करके arrive कर जाते. And so in Avadana Sutra, it was written that what are the benefits of the constructing the stupa. Then and according to the Avadana Sutra or Avadana Satak, guided by that, Ashoka went on to create his policy calm and glad, and then he constructed those all stupa. So number 3, अब number 3 अगर जो पता है तुम्हें, ठीक है, कि if it is the that Buddhist text, so then आराम से eliminate कर लोगे, ठीक है. 3 options, there is a 3, ठीक है, 3 option eliminate कर दिया. Even if you don't know that 2 and 4, ठीक है, so 2 and 4 are the Jain text, 3 eliminate करने के बाद then easily you remember that question of the sun temple, अभी आने वाला भी है, where you eliminate. So it is like that only. So understand that इस type के questions जो भी आते हैं, ठीक है, that there would be some that unique names which might not be there in the books, then which might not be there in the general text of this time, but then एक कोई ना कोई एक option हमेशा ऐसा होता है that you know it little bit about it. So whenever you are reading the questions, so इसको जैसे इंग्लिश में जो भी लिखा हुआ है, read the Hindi version also. Once again I'm emphasizing, and then break the words also. ठीक है? So maybe you get the idea that Avadan. So Avadan is a text in the, and Avadan is a category of the text in the. Many such texts are there in Buddhism which are with the name of the Avadan. So then you can arrive at the answer. So this can be done with the elimination, but a kind of moderate to difficult question. Then once again, let's come to the next one. So with reference to Indian history, consider the following pairs: historical person, and they were known as. So second part is known as, yeah, what were their positions. So Arya Dev and Digyan and then Nath Muni. So these are the names which are given. It's not easy one. So understand, whatever be the answer, that इसमें answer दिया हुआ है, and that answer is that you needed to identify the how many of the above pairs are correctly matched. So 2 pairs are correctly matched, but then for that you will have to be very well versed with these all. So who is Arya Dev? So generally that when anybody is going into the discussion of the Buddhism, we talk about the Nagarjun, who was associated with the Madhyamika school, ठीक है, Madhyamika and Vaibhasika. But then obviously उनके disciples का पता करना, or to get to know that disciples of that person, it is difficult. And moreover, the sources which are given, it is also not the current affairs, and so it is also not the current affairs. So इसमें it becomes little difficult. And then second one also, Dignan was a Buddhist scholar, but in fact when we were trying to find more literature about him, very limited literature is there, very limited literature. So it altogether becomes very difficult that you are a sea of the tickets are kept, and then you are putting one, that you are taking one, and jo aa gaya wo ho gaya. Then so I would better say, but that is my thing, that if I would be in the exam, I would not go ahead with this solving this particular question. Then, and as far as the Nath Muni is concerned, so he is the only known person about whom the very good literature is there. So Sri Ranganath Muni was the original name, and then he was also known as Srinath Muni. Then, so as far as that his contribution is concerned, it is all related to the Sangam literature, Nalaila Divya Prabandham. So Prabandham were the literature which were related to the, any idea? Vaishnavism. If you remember that Prabandham and the Prabandha Kavyam were the writings of the Alvars, then, and Tevaram and Tevakrams were the writings of the that Nayanars. Then, so this is what is the information. But knowing about the Sri Ranganath Muni, bit research karna hoga. But now understand the two questions which we have seen abhi tak, ठीक है? उसके पहले जो Buddhism के questions देखे थे, more than half were doable then, and these two were difficult, but from here onwards it eases. So last year question or 2023 का जो question था, so let's come to this question. पढ़ो. Souls are not only the property of the animal and the plant life, but also of the rocks, running water, many other natural objects not looked on as living by the religious sect. आगे पढ़ने की जरूरत है. You all know what is it? Jainism, ठीक है? So jeev soul and ajeev soul, inanimate soul and inanimate soul. Then so they attribute soul to the both. So it is the easiest question which they have asked. And then let's come to, so इसमें number नहीं लिखा हुआ है question का. I don't know it is UPSC question or not, year भी नहीं लिखा हुआ है. But then अच्छा, just one explanation, that one correction from the last class. The question of the Kautilya, एक बार ध्यान से समझना, that that slaves, and then who were the slaves, different things which were mentioned ki if a female bore a son to the that master, so then she is free. So all the statements were true. If the very first statement was that one can become a slave by judicial punishment also. Now understand, the literature, there is a very well written literature on it. In Arthashastra itself it is written, and then everywhere from that time, everywhere it is written that due to the judicial punishment, one can become a slave. And UPSC's answer, it has not given first one as a correct answer. ठीक है? तो जो यहाँ पे कल मैंने बोला था ना, that B is, it needs to be changed. Actually, I verified when I went home, UPSC has not given the answer. So that it has not considered the first statement as the right statement. But otherwise, the literature is there that it is the right statement. So maybe it was not clear that was the question dropped or it was retained. I think it must have been a dropped question. And how come we get to know? UPSC generally doesn't releases that which question is dropped. You will have to ask, one will have to ask through the RTI, that was there any question dropped, then only we get to know that question was dropped. So since UPSC has given wrong answer, that's a reality, that UPSC has given a wrong answer. So if anybody will contest or may have contested, so then usko drop kar diya hoga, because all of the three were correct, but then UPSC has not considered one as the correct. And I hope you know that before 2011 आंसर सीट भी नहीं आती थी, ठीक है? That nobody was knowing that कि कितना करेक्ट किया है, कितना नहीं करेक्ट किया है. No keys were released. In fact, in 2011, it all started after the RTI thing. That if the people were asking, ठीक है, that what are the that what is the key of this particular thing, so then they were sending it to their home. It was not released on the website. It is from only 2012 they started releasing it on the website. Then so uske pehle they were not releasing it on the website. Then and before 2011 the main problem is that whatever answers which are there given, ठीक है, जो भी किसी भी text में दिया हुआ है, so that is the research of the people who are the expert, who are there in the market, but it is not official UPSC key. Nobody knows that what was the official UPSC key. UPSC, and moreover, you know that UPSC answer sheets were kept under the category of the Official Secret Act. That's a reality. Then, and so as the other thing also, the scaling formula. So it was also not known, even till this date it is not known that how the scaling is done. I hope you know what is the scaling. नहीं पता है. So in your mains exam, ठीक है, you have pol science, you have anthro, you have mathematics, and since you have mathematics, you score, you can, that out of 500 you can correct 450. If you are correcting 450, you must get 450. But then a pol science student or history student, will he get 450? So then the scaling formulas are there to bring a leveler, okay? But then nobody knows that what is this scaling formula. So it is still in a gray zone. And that's why all the time the discussion is there that optionals must not be there. ऐसा हो नहीं रहा है, मैं बस बता रहा हूँ कि discussion is there, that optional must not be there. and it will be a level playing field for everyone. Okay. So since it is not, the session is not related to main, so I'll not go deeper into it. So अलग कभी बात करेंगे. Let's come to the next question. इस पे number नहीं लिखा हुआ है. I don't know that it came in exam or not, but then let's look at the question. ठीक है. So it is also one very doable question. Which of the following statements are applicable to Jain doctrine? The surest way of annihilating karma is to practice penance. Is it true? Paschatap. And they talk about that extreme paschatap. What is karma? The negative things which got associated with the soul. Then, so karma is a central siddhant or central to the three religions, Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. So karma would always be there. Then, and moreover, that we have talked about the penance. And what is their extreme penance? Salekhana. Okay. So that first question stands correct. First statement. Every object, even the smallest particle, has a soul. We have already studied inanimate soul and inanimate soul. Karma is the bane of the soul, must be ended. Meaning that karma is that negative thing which gets associated with the soul and it must be ended. That's how the one will get free from the cycle of birth and death. Then, so all the statements are correct. So it is also a very doable question. Then let's come to architecture. So architecture में इसमें 4 questions दिए हैं, but then actually there were a little bit more. So with reference to the cultural history of India, consider the following statements. Is it visible? ठीक है. So consider the following statements. So white marble was used in making Buland Darwaja and Khanka at Fatehpur Sikri. Then, so Buland Darwaza, see that's where seeing the images comes handy. Okay, that whenever you are reading and you are looking at the images, so images comes handy. Okay, you have seen the Buland Darwaza, and moreover there was one more discussion that we do in the classes कि Red Fort Agra, okay, and Akbar's, that this particular Fatehpur Sikri, all the monuments were that except Salib Chisti's tomb, rest of the monuments were in the red sandstone. It was the Shahjahan who had a hell lot of love towards the white marble, and then he started adding those buildings. So Buland Darwaza mein to kahin pe bhi white marble hasn't been used. Then second statement, you see red sandstone and marble were used in making Bada Imam Bada. Lucknow architecture, Bada Imam Bada and Ruby Darwaza, what we have mentioned, what you have studied. Lucknow architecture में कहीं marble use ही नहीं हुआ है. You remember? It's a very easy question that we all that do that in Lucknow architecture they have used only the red sandstone and so as the brick, but nowhere they have used the white marble. So and Rumi Darwaza image itself you have seen. Have you seen any Rumi Darwaza का image तो देखा है ना class में? So have you seen that it is there any marble? Marble से construction है, and Bada Imam Bada also the labyrinth Bhul Bhulaiya. Then so they have not used, and that's how the very first statement that we write in the classes is that Mughals, that Lucknow rulers tried to stay away from the many of the Mughal elements. Then white marble was one of the elements they have stayed away. Then उसके अलावा their arches were very different. Their arches were the floral arches where petals and stamens are there, and so as the domes used to be very big with no apparent support, and apart from it they were the best labyrinth creators in the India then, or Bhul Bhulaiya creators. So that could be, so दोनों में से कोई भी statement correct नहीं है. ठीक है, neither one neither two. Yes, अच्छा इसको zoom करना है. Okay. So anyways, so these are the images once again we have kept over here so that it will be visible to you, that you can see this Buland Darwaza पूरा का पूरा red sandstone, and this is not, this looks like a marble, but this is a stone. ठीक है, this is a stone, and then it's Bada Imam Bada's entrance. Then entrance, and on this side, this part of it would be the Rumi Darwaza. This is entrance, and just in front of it is the Bada Imam Bada. So this is the gateway. This is not the Imam Bada. Imam Bada's gateway. Then let's move to the, let's see. चलो हाँ ठीक है, आ रहा है. So question थोड़ा सा elaborate हो गया है. ठीक है. Let's come to the 2019. Building Kalyan Mandap was a notable feature in the temple construction in the kingdom of Vijayanagar. Easy, very easy question. See that it is the culture which is saving grace in this part. मतलब that's a reality, that culture and also the modern questions are saving grace. But otherwise, that this portion of the ancient and medieval will be difficult. Okay? And in culture part, the difficult questions 50% of the time are from the Buddhism and Jainism. Okay? So they come up with some unique sources, that some unique questions, half of the questions, okay, would be unique, but then half of it in the Buddhism Jainism are quite doable. So, and what was the purpose of the Kalyan Mandapams? Marriage of the gods. So marriage celebration of the gods. Then just suppose karo that ye to पूछ लिया. So what is the other structure of the Vijayanagar temple style or Vijayanagar style which is unique? Other dibbas, ठीक है? So the rectangular platforms, dibbas. And dibbas have been asked in the recent past in many UPSC conducted exams. So might be, there could be a possibility that what was the dibba? Okay? So it was a rectangular platform where the ritual sacrifices were conducted and it was part of the temple premise itself. Then, so now, so these are the images related to the Vijayanagar temple and the Kalyan Mandapam. Okay? So that is the image of the Kalyan Mandapam, okay, where the marriages were conducted inside the temples. Then, with reference to Chaussat Yogini temple, let's come to the next question. So with reference to Chaussat Yogini temple situated near Morena, consider the following statements. Then, it is a circular temple built during the reign of the Kachapghat dynasty. Then second one, it is the only circular temple built in India. Is it the right statement? So there were, and we have already seen in the images also that Jabalpur mein bhi tha, Khajuraho mein bhi tha. So it is not the only circular temple. There are many. In fact, Jabalpur, Khajuraho bhi bhul jao. Okay? Anyone from Bengal in this class? You are from Bengal. And have you been to this particular area, Bardhaman? No. Kalna? Kalna division. There is a circular temple in the Kalna. So, and that is a Lord Shiva's temple in Kalna division. So, I can tell you from each and every state that there is a circular temple. So, it is a very extreme statement. Now, one more thing you will have to be very careful. Ab dhyan se samjho. It's not about the information which is there. You will have to be careful about the extreme words. So, only is an extreme word. Tell me other extreme words. Yes? All is also extreme word. Only is extreme word, all is extreme word. And so as no is also extreme word. So you have to be careful. Wherever, and there are other extreme words also. So you will have to be careful. एक दिमाग में रख के जाना. सुबह जब ना पेपर देने जाते हो, so just do one thing, that write on your hand. ठीक है? नहीं, hand पे नहीं लिखना. So just write on a paper, then look out for the extreme words before entering into the examination hall. यहाँ लिख लिया तो सब कबाड़ हो गया. तब तो सीधे ही पहुंच जाओगे अकेले. So now, so just write somewhere, because if you have written क्या करना है वो सब कुछ एक पेपर में लिख लेना. Then that what all exercises, and it's not just about that what you have studied, how you will be if the paper would be tough. So how you'll be dealing with it. So just keep it in mind, and then inside the hall, you will have to exercise this. But then most important is the two things which I will say, that take the extreme word, and second is that look out for the correct and not incorrect, and avoid human errors. Then see, many a times that you go with the wrong answer only because of the human error. You know the right answer, but then you do the human error. Then so be careful. और human error किन questions में होता है? जो सबसे आसान questions होते हैं. Remember. So don't take it very lightly. The easy questions are the one which will be in the domain of the errors. So be careful in this regard. So now the last one. Its design has given rise to a popular belief that it was the inspiration behind the Indian Parliament building. And that was already when the Central Vista program started from 2014 itself. So then the British Archives, the report was now available, and that's how, in the words of the Lutyens itself, that Edwin Lutyens itself, that what he said, that though we tried to stay away from the Indian elements, but the time and again we were forced to include the Indian elements. And then came this particular temple of the Morena, which we thought that can be incorporated. So this is what the word he has written clearly in the archives. So it was all widely in the news. Almost all the newspapers of that time, it was covered in it. But then uske alawa bhi if you remove the two, अगर जो कुछ नहीं पता है, पहला भी नहीं पता है, कच्छप घाट डायनेस्टी, generally people were not knowing, but then just have a look at it. Wherever the 2 is there, you just remove. So 2 you have removed from the 1, B and D. What you are getting? 1 and 4. So this is where you need to practice. This is what the type of the question that you need to practice, that look out for just one information where the extreme word is there. Then, and this is in the modern class, somebody asked about that ki wo tukke se hi hota hai paper. Then so tukke, I very well remember that what was that tukke se paper hota. It is not tukka, it is your intelligent guess, and this is what is called as the intelligent guess, that you are preparing yourself to, and you are so much aware in the examination hall that you are looking at the extreme words and then you are eliminating it. So go ahead with it, and elimination will not be eliminated for all the time to come. Then so this year, once again, the old pattern questions would be there. You will see, mark my words. Then so that would be there, and I believe, I hope that from this year onwards, a little bit of trend might change to some easier questions might be there in the paper, क्योंकि last 5-6 साल तक tough question पूछ लिया. Now the tough paper has become a monotonous thing. Okay? So it has become very monotonous. Now be ready for it. If the paper is easy, so then accordingly you decide what you are going to attempt, how much you are going to attempt. Then let's come to the next question. So 2018, and it is a question related to the music. So with reference to the cultural history of India, consider the following statements. Most of the Tyagaraj Kritis were devotional songs in the praise of the Lord Krishna. So about Tyagaraj, we get to know that, and actually in 2018, it was the 250th birth anniversary of the Tyagaraj. All the newspapers, they covered it. So this is how, I hope you know this part, that the static portion becomes relevant when they are in the news. So in music and the dance section, we that generally what you need to do is that you have already studied about the original name, and Tyagaraj, one of the male trinity of the Carnatic, Tyagaraj and Syama Shastri and Muthuswami Dikshitkar. Then so they were the that trinity, and Tyagaraj, it's right that his songs were in the praise of the Vaishnav tradition, but then rest of the information were there in the articles which were published at that time. And इसके अलावा भी that when PT 365 and current affair material which was there, so in that also it was covered at that time. So अभी के time पे भी obviously that you need to at least 1 or 2 time you need to see the current affair material of the culture. So थोड़ा सा बड़ा है, I have seen it that bit थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा information है उसमें, but then there you can go 1 time or 2 time, at least you can just scroll through the information, and then maybe the subconscious memory will come to the play. So Annamacharya and Tyagaraj were the contemporaries, and then Annamacharya Kirtanas are devotional songs in the praise of the Lord Venkateshwara. So you will have to see which statement given above are correct. Then so statement, so Tyagaraj created several new ragas, and then the 4th one, which is Annamacharya Kirtis. So he was, Annamacharya was not the contemporary of the Tyagaraj, and who is Lord Venkateshwar? Lord Vishnu. So his Kritis, but then it is the second part, Tyagaraj ke bare mein people know, but then Annamacharya, it is little difficult to trace at that time. Then so now let's come to the 2019 question. He was devotee of Lord Ram, that is a Vaishnav tradition. So Lord Krishna would not be there. Okay, that's why. So he was devotee of that Lord Ram. So not Krishna, but isme Vaishnav likha nahi hai. Generally it is referred as the Vaishnav tradition or the Lord Ram, but he was not writing the Kritis in the name of the Lord Krishna. So that's why it is incorrect. So with reference to, is it visible? With reference to Mia Tansen, which one of the following statement is not correct? So now after a long time they have asked not correct. Then now listen. So in this, Tansen was the title given to him by Emperor Akbar. What title Akbar gave to him? Mia. Okay. And Tansen was the name from the childhood itself. So that first one itself is stands incorrect, and that is the answer. but apart from it, rest of the information, अब एक चीज कर सकते हो, that rest of the information that Tansen composed Drupad on the Hindu gods and goddess, it means it is a correct statement, so you can keep it for the next year purpose. That next year या आगे आने वाले साल में maybe this would be one of the statement in the exam. Then Tansen composed songs on his patrons. Patrons means that Akbar, and then so as the king of the Gwalior, then so for them also he composed the song, and he invented many ragas. Then so these are the correct informations which is a takeaway from this particular part. So now the next part is basically that some of the informations are given related to these all. So differences between the Hindustani and the Carnatic music, then music in India, Hindustani and Carnatic music. So these all you can see. Tumri, Dhamar, Tarana, Tappa. Already you have studied, but then यहाँ से भी अगर जो quick revision करना हो तो देख सकते हो. Folk music of India. List is very long. So let's come to the next question. कुछ question हो तो पूछो बीच में. Let's before going into it. कोई पूछना चाहता है? You want to ask?
सर कंठाभरण वाणी विलास भी एक टाइटल था शायद तानसेन का, if I'm not mistaken.
Might be. It's a additional information.
So it was given in, I guess, in some book that अकबर ने ही दिया था शायद टाइटल.
What's the name?
कंठाभरण वाणी विलास, because of its devotional singing, some sort of.
Might be. ठीक है?
Okay.
So that's an additional information that you have done in a better way. कोई और question? Anyone? हाँ.
In general किसी को भी दे सकते हैं क्या?
It is given to the people who have the mastery in a particular art form. So at that point of time, Akbar, when he was giving, so it was only given to the people who were the master in that particular art form. But किसी को भी किसी भी art form में दे सकते हैं. मतलब हाँ restricted to art only. बाकी आगे का word जो मियाँ है अकबर के टाइम पे, उसके अलग reasons हैं. ठीक है, उसके अलग reasons हैं. That the way in colloquially, I got to know that what you are asking, that colloquially Mia is used, that the colloquial Mia word is a different. Then, but here, when Akbar has given the title, it has a purpose and it has the meaning. The meaning was the master of the art forms. And that's how he was giving this title only to those who were experts in the art forms. But later on, it was used colloquially. Okay? It was not used as a title.
Does it also encompass some sort of honor or state benefits, like people who are knighted in UK?
Obviously, ठीक है, that for example, that Tansen became the Navaratna of the Akbar's court. So he will be obviously that there would be a payment. Okay, there would be that obviously that he gets a get.
Anybody awarded the near title would be entitled.
Yeah, entitled. That will be obviously. State emoluments. He will be entitled to state emoluments. In fact, Akbar also built, as far as the story is concerned, so Akbar also built the house for the Tansen also. In fact, it is also said in some of the sources that even from the royal blood itself, that Mughal family itself, Tansen's marriage also happened. Okay? So these are the stories which is alag aspect of it. Then, so now let's come to, abhi koi aur question? Anybody else? Chalo, so let's move to the next question. It's already there on the board. So with reference to Manipuri Sankirtana, consider the following statement. It is a song and dance performance. So Manipuri, that song and dance performance, then symbols are the, यहाँ पे भी you need to be very careful, only musical instrument. Is it? So what are the other musical instruments which are used? Symbols के अलावा pung, pena is a flute, ठीक है? And the kartals. What is kartal? Rhythmic hand clapping. So the word only gives you the indication that 2 is to be removed, and then you come to the two options you have removed, A and C. Then it is performed to narrate the life and deeds of Lord Krishna. What is the name of the life and deeds of Lord Krishna, which is the part of it? Sankirtana. Have you forgotten it? मतलब पढ़ा तो है ना? There were 2 important themes. See, remember that whenever you're reading about the Manipuri, so how come the story starts? That the story of the Manipuri starts with the once upon a time, Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati descended to the hills of the Manipur. They danced with the local Gandharvas. But in the later times, it is the theme of the Lord Krishna which became popular in the Manipuri, and it is performed till this date. The themes are Ras Leela and Sankirtana. Sankirtana is the life and the deeds of the Lord Krishna, life story of the Lord Krishna. And what is Ras Leela? Love affair of the Lord Krishna with the Gopikas. So this is what is depicted. So third is also an easy statement, and first was also easy statement, and second you already know. तो इसमें elimination का भी अगर जो नहीं भी पता है तो भी these statements are the normal ones. You can go ahead with it. Then, so this is about the question related to dance form, but then as it has been listed over here, क्लासिकल से 2017 के बीच 17 से 2023 के बीच में they haven't asked any question. In fact, the folk forms have been asked. So now the possibility increases that it's been long, that no question has been there from the classical dances. So this year you can revise that section. Maybe you get the question from this particular part. Then let's come to the painting of Bodhisattva Padampani is one of the most famous and often illustrated painting at, you know na, I hope, all of you. What is it? Ajanta. इतनी शांत क्यों हो? पढ़ा नहीं है? It's a very मतलब often repeated thing that मतलब wherever you have done, but often repeated thing in each and every book, and then classes. चलो जो ने class नहीं किया अलग चीज है, but then classes maybe and everywhere. Padampani, okay? And what are the other names? So Padampani, who is Padampani? He's a Bodhisattva. And Bodhisattva, and what is the meaning of the Padampani? So Bodhisattva looking at a lotus flower, then holding a lotus flower. Then Padampani is another name, Avalokiteshwar, okay? So Avalokiteshwar, and what is the meaning of the Avalokiteshwar? The Lord who looks down with the compassion, okay? So compassion. And uske alawa, what else is there? So Bodhisattvas are also called as Lokeshwar. Okay? So they are also called as Lokeshwar. So these are the different names. But apart from it, one more Bodhisattva who is represented in the Ajanta, Vajrapani. And what is the meaning of the Vajrapani? So Buddha, Bodhisattva holding thunderbolt. And then the other paintings are Flying Apsara and Dying Princess. Okay? Maya Devi's dream is in the sculptural panel form. Okay? So that is not painting. So inside the Ajanta, there are many specimens. So specimens, just listen. So inside Ajanta, there are many specimens, and it includes the sculptures also, paintings also. So sculpture mein, there are some famous sculpture. One is the Mar Vijay army approaching Buddha, and Buddha replying through the Bhumi's purse mudra. Okay? Have you heard this story? Okay, so Buddha replying through the Bhumi's purse mudra. That was also the question which was asked in, I think, in 2013 or 12. Then, so, and the one you are saying that it is a Jataka panel. So that is in the sculptural form. And in fact, even the Mahaparinirvana Buddha, that is also the image of the death of the Buddha, which is depicted in the Ajanta. Then, so now, 2018 question. Now, do you feel that art and culture is doable? Yes or no? Okay. So, अब ये वाला क्वेश्चन देखो, is it easy or difficult? The well-known painting Bani Thani belongs to Kishangarh school, ठीक है? And who was the creator of the Bani Thani? Nihal Chand. And what was the speciality of the Kishangarh painting? Exaggerated features in the body. Then, so exaggerated features in the body, sharp nose, sharp chin, almond-shaped eyes, this way. But then, though the exaggerated features were there, but then image looked very beautiful. So this is one of the image, and who is the protagonist? Who is the second person over here depicted? That is Bani Thani. But then Bani Thani का एक अलग से image आता है. He is Raja Sansar Chand. So Raja Sansar Chand, who was the main patronizer of the Kishangarh. Then, so paintings included Bani Thani, so as Raja Sansar Chand. So maybe the next question, or if UPSC has to ask, so they can ask that in which of the following schools of the painting Raja Sansar Chand was depicted. So once again, it will be the Kishangarh. ठीक है? And then इसको just wait 1 minute, ठीक है? I'll expand it once again, but then you need to see that the other details. So famous folk paintings of India, ठीक है? So famous folk paintings of India. Generally, if we look at last 15-year paper of UPSC, so एक या दो बार that there has been questions from the folk painting. and moreover they simply ask only one thing, that which state. Then so statement which is correct statement, and it is practiced in this particular state. So if you can do, just go ahead with it, that these all paintings and which all states they were practiced. Okay. Then so these are that that things which are mentioned, that what we have observed, that how the questions from the paintings have been asked. So as you can see that generally that area is the most important, but uske alawa theme is also very much asked. As far as the artist is concerned, this type of question comes in the state PCS examination, that they go little deeper, they are asking about the artist. So UPSC में बिना artist पढ़े काम चल जाएगा, but then if you are going for the state PCS also, so then you will have to be little bit more looking at the artist. And then kings are also asked in the UPSC paper. So dynasty and the kings who patronized it, then and rest of the things you can look at it. So color they are not asked, ठीक है, technique भी नहीं पूछते हैं. So theme is asked, but then king is asked, area is asked, artist not asked, and the most asked question is the state or region. Then some of the miniature paintings of India and the regional paintings. So it's enlisted over here. See, acha, I just wanted to ask that have you seen that how many of you are studying the 365 also? पढ़ना start किया culture वाला? नहीं start किया. So if you are less on time, please do one thing at least, that read the new GI tags and the few which were given the last week, 2 हफ्ते पहले. I think 3 to 4 new GI tags were given. Then and in GI tag what you need to read, that in last 2 years how many GI tags have been, that how many GI tags were there in the news. So last 2 year ka list you will have to go through. In the 365 it is there. So at least do the GI tag. It is the 3rd year then, and 3 saal pe ek bar there is a question on the GI tag. So you can go ahead with that then. So now look at this one. Who among the following Mughal emperors shifted emphasis from the illustrated manuscript to album and individual portrait? Remember? Who? What is portrait? And where it all started? Is it a easy question or the difficult question? Easy question. बताओ तो सही, कम से कम participate तो करो. Jahangir. So you have written, you have studied that Jahangir's period was the climax of the Mughal painting, okay? And moreover, he himself was a great painter, and the greatest achievement was the beginning of the portrait painting. So in portrait painting, one individual is highlighted and rest of the things can be kept in the blur in the background. So this is one such image in which Jahangir has been highlighted, okay? So it is also a very easy question. Then so अभी जैसे कैलकुलेट करना, आई होप यू हैव डाउनलोडेड द मटेरियल, कैलकुलेट करना कल्चर के पोर्शन में all the questions which are there in the last this much years, ठीक है, 7 years. So 75% से ऊपर are the doable one, ठीक है. And doable का मतलब that from the source, the normal sources that you have studied, वहीं से हो जाएगा. You don't need to go with the very elaborate source and then big books like the A.L. Basam 2500 pages. So now let's come to the next question. ये move नहीं हो रहा है. Is it? Yeah, fine. So with reference to the scholars oblique literatures of the ancient India, consider the following statement. Padini is associated with Pushyamitra Sunga. Is it? So Sunga period mein, let's talk about it. The very first ruler was Pushyamitra Sunga. And Pushyamitra Sunga, he killed which ruler? Brihadrat, the last Mauryan king. He eliminated Brihadrat. And after that, he was a staunch critic of the Buddhism. He started promoting Vedic Hinduism. And then, who was his head priest? Patanjali. Patanjali was his head priest. Then, and under the guidance of the Patanjali, what has happened? Ashwamedha Yajana. The details of the Ashwamedha Yajana, where it is mentioned, Ayodhya inscription. Ayodhya inscription. And who was Patanjali? So Patanjali, and Padini. What is the difference between the two? Age. So, how you remember Padini? Tell me how you remember Padini. He wrote the first grammar book of the Sanskrit, Ashtadhyayi. Okay? So, first grammar book. And what Patanjali wrote about Padini? Mahabhashya, which was the commentary on the Ashtadhyayi. So, if he is writing a commentary on Ashtadhyayi or Padini, so who is earlier, Padini or Patanjali? So Padini is earlier, okay? And Padini's age is 200 before the Patanjali. So the person who was associated with the Pushyamitra Sunga was Patanjali, not the Padini. Then, so that's the first statement. The second statement, Amar Simha is associated with the Harshvardhan. He was one of the Navaratna of the Chandragupta second. Then, and what he wrote? Amar Kosh. What is Amar Kosh? Lexicography. Lexicography. And what is lexicography? Yes. So dictionary. ठीक है? That basically the हिंदी में बोलते हैं तो शब्द की व्युत्पत्ति, origin of the words are mentioned in this particular text. Then Kalidas is associated with the Chandragupta second. We know. So he was associated with the Chandragupta. So what is which of the following statements are correct? So Kalidas is associated with the Chandragupta, not exactly Chandragupta second. Kalidas is believed to be from that age. Then, but as far as the question has been asked that is associated with him, okay, so that is not verified in the recent times. Okay, there has been many questions. In fact, it was in the news that that Kalidas timeline is bit different from the Chandragupta second. Many people, they say that Kalidas was the one of the courtier, one of the Navaratna of that time. But then many such questions are raised about it. And moreover, when it comes to the biography of the Chandragupta second, so it is all related to the Visakha Dutt, not related to the Kalidas. I hope you know. And what is the name of the biography of the Chandragupta second? Devi Chandraguptam. Devi Chandraguptam, which was written by the Visakha Dutt. So in this, we can go with, okay, that what is asked, that which of the following statement is correct. Is my answer. Answer is given C, only 3. Acha, yes. Okay. So Kalidas is considering that this is the right option. Amar Simha was the wrong option, and so as the Padini's association is the wrong option. मैं खुद ही गच्चा खा गया. चलो, so let's come to the next one. So with reference to the history of the ancient India, Bhava Bhuti, Hasti Malla and Chemeshwara were famous. So in this, tell me that any name that you have heard, Bhava Bhuti, and any book of the Bhava Bhuti, Uttar Ramcharit and Mahavir Charit, and so as the one more, Malati Madhav. Okay? So these are the books. So, and I think we have done it in, we have discussed about it, that Mahavir Charit, which was the book of the that Bhava Bhuti, it is on the life of the Lord Ram, not on the Vardhaman Mahavir. So he was a playwright. Baki do naam bhale na patao, that who was Hastivalla and who was Chemeshwara. So if you know the Bhava Bhuti, so this is what we call as a strategic information. Okay? So strategic information and strategic fact. So एक fact अगर जो पता है, so on the basis of it you can build on the that other options. So Bhavabhuti के basis पे that you can write that they were the playwrights. They were writers, not the Jain monk, temple architects or philosophers. Yog Vasisht was translated into Persian by Nizamuddin Panipati during the reign of the. So इसमें जो दिया हुआ है अकबर, हुमायूं, शाहजहां and औरंगजेब. ठीक है? So it is believed that Yog Vasisht is the creation of the Vasishtha Rishi originally. And who was Vasishtha Rishi? I hope you know his history, which was there at the time of the Mahabharata and actually Dasarajan war. So it is also believed to be that Yog Vasisht, the final compilation happened in the Mughal period, but then original text existed from the more than 1000 years, and it is the second biggest text after the Mahabharata in India. So originally the beginning of the Yog Vasishtha translation happened at the time of the Akbar, and there was a place in the Akbar's the tenure known as Maktab Khana, In Maktab Khana, these all literatures were translated into Persian. But then by his lifetime, it was not completed, and then after it was not completed, and it was further proceeded by the Jahangir, and the final completion happened at the time of the Dara Shikoh. ठीक है? So options में चूंकि यहाँ पे जहांगीर भी नहीं है, ठीक है, शाहजहां did not took any step related to it, so in the option what we have Akbar, so we'll have to go with the Akbar. So it all started during the tenure of Akbar, but the final translation was not completed at the time of the Akbar. Done? So now let's any question इससे related कुछ पूछना हो तो पूछो, बताओ. Let him ask.
Sir, what if Dara Shikoh is also given in option and with Akbar, then what we should go?
तो उसमें combination जरूर देंगे. Obviously they will be giving the combination. बिना अगर जो if combination is not given, so then it can be contested. ठीक है? It can be contested. Generally in the state PCS examination, students are given chance to contest. That if they feel, so that UPSC में तो नहीं है फिलहाल, लेकिन फिर भी if you feel like so, that only you can contest only when the answer keys are released. Then, so you will have to wait till the final result and then you can contest. But then UPSC will not do this kind of thing. They will give the option. They will give the combination that 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. ऐसा होगा.
Sir, I read that during the reign of Dara Shikoh, there were only 2 books mainly, Bhagavad Gita and I guess Upanishads.
Upanishads 52.
Sirre
He
Akbar
started
ke
the
naam
translation of the 52 Upanishads.
Okay.
But then it was not completed. Before that itself, the battle of Samugad happened, and then he was eliminated by the Aurangzeb. Then, so 52 Upanishad. The project was total 52 Upanishads.
Sirre Akbar ke naam se. That
Yes,
was the title.
yes, that's the right name. Okay. Yes. Motivation behind it. चलो ठीक है. So just understand that Yog Vasisht was a popular text. वो अलग चीज है. But then the motivation is basically, remember that there was one painting which was created in the beginning, okay? And the name of the painting was the Hamza Nama series. The painting at the time of the Akbar, it was created by Amir, that it was on the life of the Amir Hamza, uncle of the Prophet, and created by Mir Sayyid Ali and Abdul Samad. Akbar was so impressed with this painting that he ordered that Indian literature must also be painted. Must also be painted, and that's how Tuti Nama and Razm Nama was painted. But then he did not stop over there. He went on to say that even the Indian literature must also be translated, and for that purpose itself he has created the Maktab Khana. So yes.
I was asking the motivation behind the question.
Motivation behind the question, देखो मैं एक बात बताऊं, बहुत सिंपल सी बात है, ठीक है. So it is written over here that what is the motivation behind it, but then it is difficult to know. It's only UPSC knows that what is the motivation behind it. That's the reality. हाँ, ये जो लिखा हुआ है ठीक है, वो पढ़ सकते हो तुम, but actually I don't मतलब much believe in this kind of thing. What is motivation? It's difficult to say, ठीक है. So it's difficult to say. So coronavirus action call pattern of 9s. अच्छा. K.K. Agrawal took social media to explain the science behind the Prime Minister announcement, but his explanation, if it can be called as that too. ये explanation नहीं, ये motivation नहीं है. वो वही है जो बहादुर शाह का image कहीं और से कहीं चिपक गया. And in fact, see, doing paper, ठीक है, is a difficult task. Remember that it's a, मतलब you need to be very calm and composed. If you are not calm and composed, you can misread the lines, ठीक है. And in fact, it has happened with me also. In fact, in today's class itself, that I have misread the lines. So in this situation where I am not in an examination hall, I'm just explaining. So if it can happen with me that I can misread the lines, it can happen with you also. So you will have to be very careful in this regard. Take plenty of water also. इतना मत लेना कि बार-बार washroom ही जाना पड़े. So थोड़ा cool and calm, composed रहना है, ठीक है? That's how you will be able to read all the things. Otherwise, mistakes will happen. Okay? So, Yog Vasisht during the time of the Akbar, and additional information. So, ये motivation mat padhna. And let's go into the next one. With reference to the Indian history, consider the following pairs. Then, so consider the following pairs. Literary work and the author. Devi Chandragupta. अभी हाल फिलहाल में ही बात किया. Who has written? Vishakha Dutt. And what is the name of the writing of the Billana? Chaur Panchasika. हाँ, तो Chaur Panchasika is one of the very famous one, 52-line love poem. ठीक है? So, and Hamir Mahakavya, information generally not available. Then that Milind Panna by whom? Nagsen, not Nagarjun. Nagarjun was the writer of Rasaratnakar, the book on metallurgy. Remember, Rasarnav and Rasaratnakar were the book of the Nagarjun, and they were the book on the metallurgy. But this one, Milinda Panna, is the questions of the Milind or Midandar to the Buddhist monk Nagsen, to which he gave satisfying replies. Okay? And Niti Vakyamrit Somadev Suri. So what they are asking that kitne isme se correct hai? So two are difficult, Somadev Suri and then Hamir Mahakavya. Generally not, मतलब ये information नहीं होता है, but Devi Chandraguptam people know, and so as the Milinda Panna is also a very easy one. तो यहाँ पे दो पता है तो you can take risk. ठीक है? Then which one of the following statements about Sangam literature in ancient South India is correct? ठीक है? So look at it. Sangam poems are devoid of any reference to material. क्या पूछा है? Correct. ठीक है? So Sangam poems are devoid of any reference to material culture. The social classification of Varna was known to Sangam poets. Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethic. Sangam literature refers to the magical forces as irrational. So, reading at the very first instance, it might give you a little bit of sweat कि क्या इसमें correct है, क्या incorrect है. Then, so let's look at all of it, that Sangam poems are devoid of the reference to material culture. What is material culture? Meaning that how the people are living and then what are their ways of earning and then amassing the wealth. It's a general statement. Second is the social classification of Varna was known to the Sangam poet. In fact, social classification system in India, it's all there from the time of the early Vedic only. So social classification system was there. If the social classification system of Varna was not there, so actually the original beginning of the Sangam literature, if you read the story, so it is said that one of the rishi from the North India, he has gone, and then after him, okay, so after him all the traditions started and then people started to build on the literature. Then so he has also gone with those Varna system. Then abhi isko chhod do, even if you don't know, the Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethic. Then so Sangam poems that Itutogai and then that Patu Patu. Then so Patu Patu, and then the minor text Kilkanakku. So what is Kilkanakku? Okay, so that Itutogai and then Patu Patu. What is mentioned in it? The warrior exploits. Okay, so exploits and the expedition and the success of the Pandyas, and they are eulogized, meaning that they are appreciated. So they are appreciated because of their warrior ethic. We'll come to it, but last is the one where you can get the idea. Sangam literature refers to the magical forces as irrational, meaning that magical forces nahi ho sakte hain, that is irrational. Now, if that is true, so then remember the story of the Silappatikaram. Okay? And what is the story of the Silappatikaram? What happens in the end? What happens in the end in the Silappatikaram? Tell me. Yes, you're right. That Kannagi goes to the court of the Nedunjelian. She cuts her breast and she curses. She gives a curse to the Nedunjelian. Half the city is burnt, and then so as the death of the Nedunjelian happens. Is it magical? Obviously. That's the curse itself. If the curse translates into the reality, so that is magic. So if that is magic, so is it irrational in the Sangam literature? So that itself is, they considered it as a rational thing. That if you do wrong, so the curse can happen to you. So this is where, so you will have to remember the stories. That stories में अगर जो कहीं पे भी ध्यान है, तो see that exam situation, obviously it is different then that when you are in the examination hall. So sometimes the thought process does not comes. But then whatever you have written, whatever you have studied, just close your eyes and go to the part visualize that what you have written in your notes. And then just kind of scan through, in your mind itself scan through that what you have written. When it comes to Silappatikaram, the story come into the flashback, and then only you can solve this type of question. So I would not say that very easy question, easy to nahi tha, but then it is the question that you know you can do. Okay? you can do on the basis of the stories. Rest of the portions you can easily eliminate when you know this story. But if you don't know this story, so then it becomes a difficult question. So let's come to the next part. इसी से related. Now let me tell you, ठीक है, पीछे जाते हैं. So the trend that we observed, Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethic. ठीक है? Now this is the statement. And what was the 2023 question? Anyone who can give me the insight on it? Sangam se hi related. Vattikiruttal. What is Vattikiruttal? Question आगे आने दें. ठीक है? Should I wait? That you remember that last year question Vattikiruttal. What is it? Warrior ethic. Warrior ethic. ठीक है? And what was it? The defeated Pandya kings were installing their swords in front of them and then starving till death. ठीक है? So अगर defeat हो गए, so they were starving themselves to the death. Then that is the warrior ethic which is mentioned. And next year the word they asked. पिछले साल ये ऑप्शन में दे दिया और अगले साल नेक्स्ट वन. सो अभी वो क्वेश्चन आएगा, जस्ट हैव अ लुक एट इट. देन आई थिंक इसके बाद ही है. सो which one of the following explains the Vattikiruttal as mentioned in the Sangam poems? So now have a look at it. Kings employing women bodyguards, learned persons assembling in royal courts to discuss religious and philosophical matters, young girls keeping watch over agriculture fields and driving away the birds and animals, bazooka, okay? And a king defeated in battle, committing ritual suicide by starving himself to the death. So this is what is the trend. So what is important to you for this year? एक बात बताओ मेरे को, कौन सा पेपर important है? 2023. For 24, 2023 is very important. Each and every option evaluate. जितना option है, ठीक है? Each and every option which is given in the 2023 evaluate. And also that do analysis नहीं, do the search on it कि अगर जो ऐसा है तो क्या नाम है. You by this time कितना question देख लिया? 5 or 6 question in this particular way. Last day also you have seen 4 questions in this particular way, and now there are few more like this only. In fact, this is not the from last 7 years. I will tell you, in 2013 the question which was asked, that which of the following places were associated with the life of the Buddha? Avanti, Kosala and Gandhar. The same question exactly repeated in the 2014. Then the question which was asked in 2013, one more, that which of the following language then was given the classical status recently, Odia. And the second one, second year, next year, which of the following are not the classical languages? Okay? So, and Odia was once there in the option. So this type, that from the immediate year, this is what they are doing most of the time. Then, is it? आगे चले? अब बहुत हाँ पूछो. Anyone asking question? नहीं? चलो. So let's go into it. So which of the following is are famous for the Sun Temple? Arsavalli, Amarkantak and Omkareshwar. You all know what is Omkareshwar? Shiv Jyotirling. Okay? So Shiv Jyotirling, and then moreover 3 when you eliminated, you already automatically got the answer. So सब में 3 में हटा दिया, and कहाँ पे है? So 1 only. ठीक है? So that is the answer. So it's easy one. See, this is what, matlab, once again I'm emphasizing on this, that strategic fact, that the one that you have already done, उसमें से अगर जो कुछ भी याद है, ठीक है? So then those facts which we don't know, maybe that UPSC will be giving you this much scope to eliminate then. And if it is not there, so obviously the paper is very tough. So then you will have to restrain in attempting those questions. And so another tarika is basically that go and remember all the thousands of the sun temples in India. Is it possible that you can be able to remember? So possible bhi nahi hai, advised bhi nahi hai. Then just give me 1 minute. So festival, generally we don't study about the festivals. Then so tradition, Chap Char Koot festival, Mizoram, Khongjom Parb Ballad, Manipur, Thangta dance, Sikkim. ठीक है? So Thangata is Sikkim. Okay? So Thangata is Sikkim, everybody knows. But then the first two, Thangata is Manipur, not Sikkim. Sorry. Thangata is the one which has gone into the Manipuri. Thangata and Lai Haroba festival dance. So, आज मेरा भी concentration ठीक नहीं है. So Khongjam Barbabal. So third incorrect हो गया, ठीक है? दो option निकल गए. Then and what is remaining with you? 1 and 2. So this is that what is the sources which has been given over here. I think this must have been asked. जो मुझे idea है इसी year का. The question was asked because this was performed in the Republic Day tableau. ठीक है? It was the part of the Republic Day tableau. So 20 to 21 forms are depicted in the Republic Day tableau. ठीक है? Every year, Republic Day tableau, not all the states will be coming up with their tableaus, but then some of the states, they do come up with their tableaus. So whatever the cultural forms or geographical things which are detailed over there, so that becomes important. I think you might be doing it. So इसमें तुम्हारे current affair के part में भी ये included होगा. So for this section, separately कुछ पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Current affair part is important for this particular section. Then let's come to the next one. Consider the following pairs. Famous place and river. So famous place and river. Pandharpur. Tell me that river wala question. It has been asked previously also. Ajanta se related. We'll come back to it. But Pandharpur is famous for what? It is Lord Vithoba. Okay? A form of, he is also called as Vitthal. And Lord Vitthal, Lord Vithoba, originally they call Lord Vithoba. And it is dedicated to the Lord Vishnu. Good. So Lord Vishnu. And Pandharpur is on the banks of the river Chandrabhaga only. Okay? So that's a right statement in the district of the Solapur in Maharashtra. Second was Tiruchirappalli is located on the banks of the Kaveri. Hampi Malaprabha nahi ho sakta. Malaprabha is a river in the Maharashtra. Not Chandrabhaga and Malaprabha are the ones, those they meet each other. So Hampi is not the right option. So यहाँ पे what they have done, that the mix of the geography and the mix of the cultural places. So for this type of the question, 1 or 2 questions has been there. So for this type of the question, whenever you are doing your this part particularly, Atlas. So Atlas may be careful that some of the religious places and then just inquire about that rivers and also the hill ranges which are closer to those religious places. Then 2020 question, with the reference to the history of India, consider the following pairs. Bhilsa. Tell me what is famous over there in the Bhilsa. Bhilsa, batao. Besnagar, and it is also called as Vidisha. Vidisha, Besnagar and Bhilsa. And the pillar erected by Heliodorus. Ancient में पढ़ा होना चाहिए. It is a very normal information. And n number of the time Besnagar has been asked in many papers of the UPSC. Then so Besnagar 3 नाम से पूछते हैं, either Bhilsa, Vidisha or Besnagar. And Heliodorus, the Greek ambassador, who came at the time of the Sunga king Bhagabhadra. Okay? So Bhagabhadra, and that is the time he erected the pillar, and the pillar name is the Garud Dhwaj. So Garud Dhwaj was dedicated to Lord Vishnu, and that is the first example of the first archaeological example of the worship of the Lord Vishnu. Okay? So that was the Bhilsa. So Bhilsa is in Madhya Pradesh. That is right information. Then Dwara Samudra. Whose kingdom is the Dwara Samudra? Hoysalas. Why you are revision nahi kiya hai, I think you guys. It's a very normal information, Dwara Samudra. Remember the campaigns of the Alauddin Khilji, Malik Kafur. Batao mujhe, what was the campaign of the Malik Kafur? And sequence mein batao. Devgiri, Warangal, Dwara Samudra and Mabar. Okay? So what is, Devgiri is in the Maharashtra, Daulatabad. And also that today's Aurangabad, yes. And then Warangal, the old name of the Warangal was Orugali. Then, so Orugali, and Warangal is Telangana, and from Telangana he is moving to Karnataka, that is Hoysala, and Hoysala area, Dwarasamudra area from Mangalore to Mysore, okay? That is the particular belt in which Kurg, Mysore, Bangalore, these all areas will be coming, Hassan, Chikmagalur. Then, so that is the Karnataka. So Dwarasamudra is not in Maharashtra, that is wrong option. Then Girinagar, okay? So Girinagar is, as it is given, it is in the mentioned in the that Gujarat and then Thaneshwar. So where is Thaneshwar? Thaneshwar. It is Thaneshwar. And what is Thaneshwar? Haryana. Okay. So Haryana. And what is the speciality of the Thaneshwar? हाँ, Pushyabhutis. So इसमें से only 2 is incorrect. ठीक है. That 2 is incorrect as we can see, and as the option it is given, 1 is correct, and so as the 3 is also correct, and 4 is incorrect. So 2 and 4 are incorrect. Then so स्थानेश्वर, यहाँ पे लोगों को डिफिकल्टी होती है, इसीलिए अगले वाले पेज में वी हैव इनकॉर्पोरेटेड दैट हिंदी इसीलिए देखने को वी मतलब यू हैव टू सी जनरली ऑल द बुक्स हैव मेंशन्ड थानेश्वर लाइक दिस. ठीक है, थानेश्वर, स्थानेश्वर नहीं लिखा होता है in all the books, and that's how UPSC have played with the words. For example, last day when we were talking about the Musiri, all the books which are even the historical, the old books have written Musiri, M-U-Z-I-R-I. Okay, but what was given in the paper, Muchiri. Okay, C-H-I-R-I. So you will have to be careful regarding the spelling also, and please look at the Hindi what it is written. Then, so Prabhakar Vardhan, last day also we talked about it. Which of the one of the following statement is correct? Ajanta caves lies in the gorge of the Waghora river. Then, so gorge of the Waghora river, and this is the tradition from the previous time, that the area and then after the river and the local topography of that area has been asked. So that is the right information. Sanchi Stupa lies in the gorge of the Chambal river. Chambal river is in the which area? And Sanchi is in the inner part, Central India, and Chambal is in the Rajasthan. Okay, so Rajasthan part. Then Pandulena cave shrines lie in the gorge of the Narmada river. Then, so which particular river caves are called as Panduleni? Have you heard about it? Like Pandavas, but actually it is in the Maharashtra. Okay, that Pandulena cave shrines are there in the Maharashtra, and Narmada is not touching all Maharashtra. Okay, that the part where it is. Then Amravati Stupa lies in the gorge of the Godavari river. Is Amravati on the banks of the Godavari or Krishna? Krishna forms the boundary between Andhra and Telangana. Then on one side of the, this is what I think in classes कहीं ना कहीं तो हम लोग किसी batch में discussion किया, that on one side of the river in Telangana side there is this tiger reserve Seshachalam, and on the other side, opposite side, is the capital of the Andhra, Amravati. Then, so it is on the banks of the Krishna, not on the banks of the Godavari. Okay. Then Godavari के बैंक पे कौन सा, which particular city is the most famous on the Godavari bank? Nasik. Okay. So Nasik. Then now look at it. So 2023 question, or we'll be going back to the एक मिनट टाइम दो, 2020 question. So एक बार I'm going back to the 2020, page number 136, and here we are at the 139. See 136, Bhilsa, Madhya Pradesh. ठीक है? And then see the page number 139. Besnagar. Got it? So it's the same place with a different name has been given this time. Besnagar. So Bhilsa, Besnagar और Vidisha. Vidisha अभी का recent नाम है, ठीक है? So Vidisha, so Besnagar, and what is there at the Besnagar? What we mentioned, the pillar erected by Heliodorus, and name of the pillar Garud Dhwaj. Then so Garud Dhwaj, and it is saying cave shrine. It is not cave shrine and not related to the Lord Shiva. Then Bhaj cave, Buddhist cave shrine. Correct? Bhaj, you have seen that upsidal vault cave with the pillars. Bhaj is the example. Okay? So it is one. And Sita Navasal. Is it a Jain shrine? Yes. Where you have read painting. Sita Navasal caves. Jain paintings. Okay? Mural paintings of India. Sita Navasal mural. याद आ रहा है कुछ भी? ठीक है? See, देखो नोट से हो रहा है. Majority of the time 70% से ऊपर हो रहा है. Will not say कि 100% obviously नहीं होगा. Last 7 year में ही तो paper difficult था. So, and if you take the last 10 years, so then 80% it will cross 80%. That class note से उतना होगा. I am not even saying किसी और book से, even in the class notes will be that they will be enough for this one. And you will have to incorporate, देखो, that art and culture study does not goes without the ancient and medieval. तो साथ साथ में ही वो दोनों होगा. You will have to be kind of mixing it. For example, that Besnagar discussion where we do only in the ancient and medieval. ठीक है, जहाँ पे when we are talking about the Sunga dynasty and the transition from the Sunga to the Kanva, and then in the middle the Greek ambassador Heliodorus comes to India, and then many of the people from the Greek area, they are converting to Hinduism, and he erected this particular pillar. Done. So let's come to, so this is about this particular information. Sitta Nawasal, agar jo you guys were little confused or yaad nahi aa raha hai, so you see that all the details related to it. These are the Jain paintings which were created inside the Sitta Nawasal cave. So based on the Jainism, then. And Besnagar pillar also we have mentioned, पिछले वाले page पे. You can see it. So give me 1 minute. Besnagar pillar. So this is the Besnagar pillar, and that was the one which was erected by the Heliodorus. (2022). So the world's second tallest statue in sitting pose of Ramanuja was inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India at Hyderabad recently. Which one of the following statement correctly represents the teachings of the Ramanuj? What was his philosophy? Visishta Advaita. What is the what did this philosophy tells?
Parts of.
And what is the crux of this philosophy? What he's talking about, that how one can get the salvation. Bhakti Marg, through devotion, Bhakti Marg. Advaitavad of the Sankaracharya. Advaitavad of the Sankaracharya, what he says. Okay? So what he says, that that there is no difference between the creator and the created. The difference that we perceive, it is because of our ignorance, and that ignorance can be eliminated by embarking on the path of the knowledge. So what he emphasized to get the salvation, Jnana Marg. And what Ramanuja emphasized, Bhakti Marg. It's a very easy question. Okay? But you are perplexed, but I don't know. So the best means of salvation was the devotion. And what is it? The Bhakti. Okay? So that is the very first one. And uske alawa baki options. So it is an easier question, and then moreover, as far as that statue is concerned, statue was inaugurated, it was in so much of news, and then this philosophy is not a difficult one to understand and then difficult one to tackle. So philosophy say last question in 2022, then we can expect more in these years. So there are other informations related to it which has been incorporated over here, different divisions, and then further building of it. So now let's come to the next one. Wait for 1 minute. Other heterodox school. So 2017 question. Is it visible? एक बार फिर से फेस्टिवल का क्वेश्चन है. चालीहा साहिब फेस्टिवल सिंधीज, नंदराज जाट यात्रा and Wari Varkari. So now the third, once again the second question related to the Pandharpur. Wait karo. I'll go back to the question where we have read Pandharpur. So 2019, page number 135. Pandharpur on the banks of Chandrabhaga. What are the things associated with the Pandharpur? So God, name of the God is Vithoba, and he is also known as God Vitthal, and he is form of the Lord Vishnu. And the festival which is celebrated, it is called as Wari Varkari. ठीक है? So Wari Varkari. फिर से एक बार तीसरा क्वेश्चन पंढरपुर पे in the exam related to Pandharpur. And in this year actually, that there was this one tableau of this Maharashtra in which the Wari Varkari tradition in the Republic Day tableau, it was depicted. So these are the current affair question. इन सब क्वेश्चंस को करने के लिए जब भी कोई फेस्टिवल का क्वेश्चन होता है, द डिफिकल्ट फेस्टिवल्स आर आस्क्ड, सो दे आर द करंट अफेयर रिलेटेड थिंग, एंड मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द टाइम इट इज द रिपब्लिक डे tableau. Then so Republic Day tableaus you'll have to cover through the current affairs. Then so now Chaliha Sahib is the Sindhi festival, and Nandaraj Jat Yatra. Okay, so it is related to the Nanda Devi temple of the UK Uttarakhand. So now let's come to next one. Consider the following pairs. craft and the heritage of. So, very first one is mentioned Puthukuli shawls, Tamil Nadu. Second is the Sujani embroidery. Those who are from Bihar, they must be knowing Sujani. Anyone from Bihar? And have you heard Sujani? So Sujani is a kind of a embroidery कि बहुत simple words में बता रहा हूँ that many sarees are taken, ठीक है, and then they are with the fine thread work, they are kind of that stitched together then, and that is the Sujani work. So it's a creation of the bed cover also, and then bed sheet also, and then even the quilt also. So Sujani is a very that popular traditional thing which is not only in the Bihar, originally emerged from the Bihar, but also practiced in the eastern UP. Okay? So eastern UP. Moreover, last year paper mein, mains ke paper mein, there was one question which was asked Purbaiya. You remember that Purbaiya? And in Purbaiya, it was asked that particularly in the eastern part of the India, that eastern UP and the Bihar, that many such cultural ethos of the region are according to the Purvaiya, the wind which starts blowing in this in a particular season. So you know what is it? It is related to the Sujani also. The preparation also leads to the Sujani because little bit of cold is there in this particular मौसम, in this particular climate. And then what happened that वो बोलते हैं ना कि सर्द गर्म का मौसम है, ठीक है? तो सर्द गर्म में what happens that you fall ill. So if you are taking a quilt, ठीक है? So then obviously that बहुत गर्मी होगी, and if you are keeping a chadar, ठीक है, a very thin bed cover, so then also that you will be feeling cold. So Sujani is the middle between it, which actually represents the ethos of the Purvaiya. That's how people use the Sujani in this particular Purvaiya season. So that it's a difficult question which was asked in the mains paper. Only people from this area, they can talk about it and they can write about it. And in fact, जो खाने के सामान भी बनते हैं, that is also according to it. So for example, it's a very intricate question. I don't know that how UPSC gone so deep into it. बाकी तो नहीं कर सकते थे. So for example, that even the खाने के सामान. So for example, the good, then jaggery. So jaggery is infused with the ginger and these all, okay, in the Purbaiya season, so that the warmth must be there. A little bit of warmth must be there in the body. So as the tilkut, okay, tilkut you understand. Then, so tilkuts, they are created so as that there will be a little bit of warmth in the body, not so much of the warmth in the body. Then, so Sujani is one of it. Then Uppad Jamdani Sadi. Jamdani, so Uppad Jamdani is from Andhra. And then that's the wrong option. Second be wrong option hai. And automatically what is left? Puthukali shawls. But I think it was in the news. Maybe ek bar check karna. I have GI tag, yes. So it was the GI tag question. You can see that Hindu mein diya tha उस टाइम पे that GI tag question. So the sources we have mentioned that embroidery GI tag, but why does not no one about it? So it is a GI tag thing. Now, so GI tag you can expect this year. Let's come to the next one. हाँ बोलो. Which one?
Diaphanous silk saree.
कहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है? It's a Uppad Jamdani sari, other diaphanous silk sari that traces its origin to the Andhra Pradesh. Jamdani itself is a hand woven fabric. Diaphanous, so I'll have to create it. Okay? Now look at this particular. यही सबसे अच्छा example है. So now you see that. Are you able to see that the way this particular thing is there? So इसमें जो designs बने हुए हैं, ठीक है? हिंदी में बोलूँ? So छेद है, pores are there. So these designs would be pores. So the thread is silk, okay? But then it is a porous silk and diaphanous, then porous silk, and then uspe then the thread work is done, okay? So some part would be little bit of that less thread would be there, and in that part in the middle the embroidery part would be there. So that is the Uppad Jamdani, and it is a very costly sari. Then it takes hell lot of time because the thread work which goes into it, it takes hell lot of time. So Uppad Jamdani is a costly sari. Uske alawa there is a one from, we'll tell you that from Gujarat. Then so that is also Patola silk. That also takes hell lot of time. So Patola. Then from Maharashtra, Pathani. Okay, Pathani. Those who are from Maharashtra, they might be knowing. Pathani is also a very costly sari, and so is the Banarsi, the original Banarsi of the Banaras. Then. So these takes hell lot of time. In fact, even there is a painting which we have discussed, kalamkari, but kalamkari sarees are also there from the Andhra. Then, and kalamkari sarees are also a costly saree. It takes 6 months to create a one saree. Then, similarly, the original pashmina, it is also a very costly affair. And pashmina embroidery, it may take 1 year or so to create a pashmina shawl if it is created. And the real cost of the pashmina embroideries, it may range from 1 lakh. It may start from 1 lakh. It can go to the 10 lakh also. Then, so craft is a unique thing, okay? But then coverage, obviously, that it is somewhere that cannot be done in the classes then. And as far as if you want to cover, so that can be covered only through your experience once you get married. When the so when the demand is there, ki patni sari dila do, theek hai, and then so there are n number of the good embroideries then. So let's come to the 2021. Consider the following statements. So statement number 1, St. Francis Xavier was one of the founding members of the Jesuit order. And second one, St. Francis Xavier died in Goa and a church is dedicated to him there. The feast of the Francis Xavier is celebrated in Goa each year. So how many of you have been to Goa? Please freely raise your hand. बस 2 लोग, बाकी लोग selection का इंतजार कर रहे हो. So one very famous church in Goa is Bombay Basilica. Okay? Bombay Basilica, and often people refer to the Bombay Basilica. So Bombay Basilica, when people go there, so it's all information is taken from the Bombay Basilica itself. वहीं पे सामने लिखा हुआ है. It's a unique that unique architecture, and in which style? Portuguese style, and that style of the architecture is known as Iberian. Okay? So Iberian style of the architecture in Goa. And it is written over there. So इसमें एक information wrong है. That is, he did not died in Goa. He was in Goa, okay? But then he did not died in Goa. He died in a Chinese island. Then rest of the informations are correct. And he was the founder of the Jesuit order in India. Then, and his feast is celebrated every year in the Goa. So if you have been to Goa, Bombay Basilica, you know it. If you haven't been, you don't know it. Then, so now let's come to the next one. With reference to the India, terms halbi, ho, kui pertains to dance forms, musical instrument, prehistoric cave paintings, tribal languages. See that there was one professor, it's not, I don't know it is given over here or not, but then there was one professor of the JNU, okay, and her name is Anvita Abdi. So she was the one who was doing the research from 2007 only on many of the indigenous languages of India. So she preserved many languages. In fact, some of the languages which have become extinct from the Andaman and Nicobars, they are all preserved in her book only. Okay? So, Halbi, Ho and Kui, they are the languages. But then interesting is that Halbi is used in the state of the Maharashtra. Okay? And Ho, Kui are the category of the Dravidian languages. So, Halbi comes under the Indo-Aryan. You have read about Indo-Aryan group. And Ho, Kui comes under the Dravidian languages. Apart from it, the next could be that extinct languages of the Andaman and Nicobars. Last year also there was a news related to it that many of the languages of the Andaman and Nicobars, they are no more existing. Then, so we'll tell you that what are the names. Bo, Kora and that Bo, Kora. These are the 2 languages. B-O, Bo and K-O-R-A. So they existed, the last speaker of these languages, they died in 2020 itself. Uske baad se, there is no speaker of these languages have been left in the Andamans and Nicobars. Then, so this is pure information of that what has come into the news. It is the essential news material. या तो हो सकता है या फिर दिन नहीं हो सकता है, या फिर if you are from that particular area, then you know that is language. But if you're not from that area, so it will be difficult. अब यहाँ से जो questions है, it is not art and culture actually. But then anyways it is given, so I will discuss with you. ये सारे sports हैं on awards के questions हैं. So sports से and awards के भी questions आते हैं. That is a pure current affair I can say. I would not categorize it into the art and culture and then ancient medieval, but it is pure current affair thing. So now it is covered over here, तो यहीं पे देख लो that what all things are there. Consider the following statement in respect of the Laurier's World Sports Award which was instituted in the year 2000. Then, so अब ये information, very first question. American golfer Tiger Woods was the first winner of this award. ठीक है? So information is right that Tiger Woods is the golfer. पहले इतना देखो कि पहले आदमी थे या नहीं थे वो छोड़ दो. The award was received mostly by the Formula 1 players so far. Then meaning that कि Formula 1 players are the one that who have received 2000 से अभी तक में सबसे ज़्यादा. And then Roger Federer received the award maximum number of the times compared to others. So this is all a pure information if you have interest in the awards. So and if you have interest in knowing these all, so then you can solve it. But देखो ये एक year का current affair नहीं है. This is not 1 year current affair. This is what you are observing that Laureus Sports Award, and then कभी-कभी किसी newspaper में दे दिया that who has taken, the listing is there, that who has been given maximum number of the Laureus Sports Award. Then so what is the right information? Tiger Woods was the first person. Second is not the right information. Formula 1 को ज़्यादा नहीं मिला है, बैडमिंटन प्लेयर्स को सबसे ज़्यादा मिला है, ठीक है? So अभी तक के इतिहास में. So till this time that badminton players are the one who have received not badminton, sorry. मेरा दिमाग कहाँ चल रहा है? Tennis players, they have received maximum number of the Laureus awards, and sometimes it has gone to football also, ठीक है? But not all the time. Then so next question search करना, मुझे पता नहीं है इसलिए मैं बोला कोई किसी क्रिकेटर को मिला है या नहीं मिला है? मिला है? सर्च करना, ठीक है? मुझे नहीं पता है. आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग यू गाइज. सो जस्ट गो थ्रू द 2000 से स्टार्ट हुआ है तो किसी क्रिकेटर को मिला है या नहीं मिला है, और एनी इंडियन हैज गॉट और नॉट मे बी. सो देन नेक्स्ट कम टू द 32nd Summer Olympics. The official motto for this Olympic is a new world. Then so new world, and what was, so when was the 32nd Summer Olympic? 2020 में proposed था, where? Tokyo. But it happened in the 2021. And what is this new world motto? The world of the corona. I'm not joking, okay? So the world of the COVID, and in the new circumstances it has happened. Then so now sport, climbing, surfing, skateboarding, karate, baseball are included in this Olympic. So this you can know only then and there, जिस year Olympic हो रहा है, and that year. So question किस year में पूछा है? 2021, so same year. So that is a pure current affair thing. You'll have to be very careful regarding it, that if the big events are happening, so then the questions can be there. And as you can see, the 2021 May, there are 2 questions on the sports. Okay? So this is the one, and the previous one also, and this one also. Then third question. So 3 questions from the sports in 2021. So 24 में कोई है event? Which one? पेरिस ओलंपिक्स, बट अभी कंडक्ट नहीं हुआ है, तो उसके पहले ही पढ़ लो ओलंपिक्स में मोटो एंड एवरीथिंग, ठीक है? बिकॉज हाँ, सी दिस ईयर इन 2021 आई नो 21 है ना, सो व्हेन वाज एग्जाम कंडक्टेड? आई थिंक इन अगस्त, अक्टूबर में, 10 अक्टूबर को, एंड इन 2020 वाज आल्सो इन द अक्टूबर. सो दैट्स व्हाई, सो एक बार पढ़ लेना दैट व्हाट इज द मोटो एंड दिस ऑल स्टफ, दैट what is there in the Paris this particular new Olympics. So let's come to the next one. Consider the following statements in the respect of the ICC World Test Championship. The finalists were decided by the number of the matches they won. Is it so? Percentage, ठीक है? The net, that the points that they have got, ठीक है? And it is not on the basis of the number of the matches they have won, but it is going on from long time, that who is in the ranking. So it is decided on the basis of the ranking, not the number of the matches won. So top 2 countries, India and New Zealand, were the finalists. Okay? So they have gone to it. New Zealand was ranked ahead of England because it won more matches. So दोनों contradictory हो जा रहा है. जब matches के basis पे नहीं है, तो New Zealand will, that second statement will also not be correct. ठीक है? So cricket enthusiast can know about it. Then अब ये question, next question is the question of the culture. It is kept little later. It must have been given in the temple architecture itself. ठीक है? So consider the following statement. अरे, haven't you seen this question? अच्छा, मैंने पहले ही पढ़ लिया उसको. But anyways, देख लेना. So the Prime Minister recently inaugurated the new circuit house near Somnath Temple at Veraval. And which of the following statements are correct regarding the Somnath Temple? It is one of the Shiv Jyotirling, or in fact it is the first Shiv Jyotirling. Okay, so first Shiv Jyotirling. Then A description of Somnath temple was given by Al-Biruni. Who was Al-Biruni? The traveler, the writer who came along with Mahmud of Ghajni. And what is the name of his kitab? Kitab al-Hind. Okay? So kitab I said, so Kitab al-Hind, in which he has mentioned about it. So when he came with the Ghajni, and Ghajni was the one who destroyed the Somnath temple, so he has mentioned this particular record. And then Prana Pratishtha of Somnath temple, installation of the present day temple, was done by the President S. Radhakrishnan. It happened in 1950s itself. S. Radhakrishnan becomes president after the Rajendra Prasad. So first president was the Rajendra Prasad. He did the Prana Pratishtha. Okay? So ये information, अगर जो ये पता है that when the temple was inaugurated in 1949 itself. Okay? And the important people who were associated with the temple reconstruction were K.M. Munshi, Sardar Patel. Okay? They were the one who were campaigning, and in fact K.M. Munshi had a big debate with Jawaharlal Nehru also at this point of time. And then after, the temple was ready, and finally Pran Pratishtha was done by the Rajendra Prasad. Then, so abhi hal filhal mein, when this particular that temple thing was there, so this was in the discussion that the temple must have been inaugurated by that president, because earlier Somnath temple was inaugurated by the president.
Sir, there was also a story that Jawaharlal Nehru wrote letters to Rajendra Prasad to not be involved in
Yes,
Pran Pratishtha.
yes, that's why there. Okay? He has written that he has written a letter about it. But in fact there was a direct confrontation between them, debate between them, that what must not be there. But then the argument of the K.M. Munshi at that point of time on behalf of the Rajendra Prasad was that the temple has been, don't look at the temple with the angle of the religion, but look at the temple that how we have been dominated in last 1000 years. So this temple has been the target of the people who have invaded this country time and again it has been destroyed. So let's consider this temple as a legacy of this country, and that was his argument. And then after everything was closed, so then he was also ready for it. So you are right that this was the debate at that point of time. Then let's come to, so isme first and second information, and then we are in the last of the questions. कुछ बचा नहीं है, ठीक है? Sports के ही questions हैं. Is it? So consider the following statement in respect of the national flag of India according to the Flag Code of India 2002. One of the standard size of the national flag is 600 mm to 400 mm, and second is the ratio of the length to width of the flag shall be 3:2. So the second is correct, but first is not the dimension. It's a factual information, and first is not the dimension. Nowhere there are 9 dimensions which are mentioned, that what must be the size of the flag, and in any of the dimensions 600 to 400 mm is not mentioned. You can see these are the 9 dimensions. So these are the 9 dimensions. So 6300 to 4200, 36 to 24, and 27, 1800, 18, 1200, 13, 50, 900, 900, 600, 450, 300, 225, and 150 and 100. So these are the sizes which are mentioned. So 9 sizes are there, but then it's not an easy thing. What you will do with this question? छोड़ देंगे, इतना information याद भी नहीं होगा. Though it is written that Har Ghar Tiranga is a campaign under the aegis of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, but then this much information retaining, and देखो एक question भी होता है that when it comes into the news, so there is a contest in our own mind that if this much information is there, क्या ये पूछेंगे, and how come we will get to know that it will be asked, and when there is a conformity, that if there is a conformity that it can be asked, so then we can remember it, but then you yourself don't know that will it be asked or damned. Then so it's a difficult question. Overall, this type of the question will not create any difference in your selection process. This is just a question to consider. These type of the questions are the dropped questions of UPSC. If anybody is able to do it, this kind of question, it's sheer luck and nothing else. Yeah, for then the very rare that person would be knowing these all kind of things. So then Flag Code of India, अब एक बार पूछ लिया है तो you can read it. And what was the year? 2023. Last year पूछा था. But actually एक और question पूछ चुका है इसके पहले flag पे. So just the same tradition. You remember that Pingali Venkaiah question, ठीक है? I think इसमें कहीं लिखा नहीं हुआ है इस पेपर में. So वो भी question culture में ही include अगर जो करें. So you see that question was already asked about the Pingali Venkaiah, and so as that once again, so 2 questions of the flag, 2022 में एक और एक 2023 में. So that tradition you are able to note down कि ये हो रहा है. So be specific about the 2023 paper, and these are the different things associated with the paper. So additional information दे दिया है कि किसे क्या possibly पूछ सकते हैं. फिर से वापस से there is a one more question of the 2 more questions of the awards. Consider the following pairs with regards to the sports award. So sports award, Major Dhyanchand Khel Ratna Award for the most, is it? ठीक है, तो for the most spectacular outstanding performance by a sports person over the period of the last 4 years. Is it? ठीक है, so that's a right information, correctly matched. Arjun Award is given every year, not the lifetime achievement. ठीक है, Dronacharya is for the gurus, coaches. ठीक है, so Dronacharya to honor eminent coaches. That's right. Then Rashtriya Khel Protsahan Puraskar. Protsahan hai meaning encouragement. So to recognize the contribution made by the sports person even after their retirement. Then so what is this? So Rashtriya Khel Protsahan Puraskar is given to the corporate entities to promote the sport. ठीक है, so corporate entities मतलब Tatas, Bidlas, Wipros. Then so whatever initiative they are taken, that is recognized through this particular sports. So this is also sports question, and in fact sports question में एक favorite question है UPSC का, Davis Cup is associated with it. ठीक है, that whom Major Dhyanchand Award is associated with whom. So these all kind of questions. And then what is the other name of the cricket which happens? Ranji Trophy. ठीक है, so ये एक listing होती है that I think many of the books have mentioned about it. So उसको भी एक बार देख सकते हो, not many a times, but then one time you can see that the awards and the institutions, their association. Then let's come to this is the last question. बहुत जल्दी हो गया ये तो. So consider the following statements in the respect of the 44th Chess Olympiad. It was the first time that Chess Olympiad was held in India. So that is it the correct statement? Yes. ठीक है, so first time 1927 में start हुआ था and पहली बार इंडिया में. ठीक है, then the second, the official mascot was Thambi. ठीक है, the image of Thambi is given, so that was there. Then the trophy, so the trophy for the winning team in the open section is the Vera Menching Cup, and to be very precise, I don't know this answer. ये कल्चर का क्वेश्चन नहीं है, ये तुम लोग उससे कर लेना. ठीक है, so basically read it, it is current affair based and then sports question. So that is what is all about this particular part. And before winding up this session, so tell me that if you have any question related to it. कुछ हो तो बताओ. Some of the last questions related to it.
सर मतलब क्वेश्चन तो नहीं है, बस मतलब एक फीलिंग एक्सपीरियंस टाइप.
हाँ.
मतलब सर जब आर्ट एंड कल्चर कर रहा था तो फिर उसमें जब मैंने मतलब सबसे ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट पॉइंट तो ये लग रहा था कि जितने भी जैसे डांस फॉर्म्स हैं, फिलॉसफी है, तो उनके बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स हैं और इतने सारे एग्जांपल्स के अलग अलग फीचर्स हैं. मतलब उसका पूरा एक तरीके से समुंदर है कि हैंडीक्राफ्ट की अगर हम देखें तो 100 एग्जांपल्स हैं. फिर उसमें मैंने देखा कि प्रीलिम्स में एग्जांपल के इन्फॉर्मेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन नहीं, मेंस में भी जैसे यक्षागना करके था, वो सबसे स्कैरी लगा कि एक कहते हैं सिर्फ एक फॉर्म के एक एग्जांपल पे पूरा एक मेंस का क्वेश्चन आ गया. जैसे 2012 का था, राइट अ शॉर्ट नोट ऑन यक्षागना. फिर सर उसके बाद ऐसे लगता है. और सर मेडिवल
लिसन, Yakshagana was asked in the prelims paper, I'll tell you, okay? And it was a 2015 paper, and it was a very easy question. They asked about that the area of the Yakshagana. I remember 2012 also. I remember Yakshagana was not asked in the 2012. 2012 question was the Bugurumba dance. Okay, I remember. It's in my memory, and you know why it is there. I wrote the mains in that year, so. So basically Yakshagana is an easy question. Don't मतलब देखो जो जनरल लिस्टिंग है ना, that what you need to in handicraft part. ठीक है, so handicraft part only if you, since you have not done the research and analysis of this part, and we are, as a team, we are doing it, so we get to know that actually they have asked only GI tags. No matter whatever be the list from all over India, they have only asked from the recent GI tag. So they also know. And if they are asking that anything which is not in the GI tag and not in the news, so then automatically just keep one thought in the mind that it is a dropped question. If it is not from the GI tag, recent GI tag, so it's a dropped question, it will not create any impact on your score, then any impact on your final result. Then, so these type of question, and as far as the theaters are concerned, it was in the 2011 that the factual question was there. So some of the theaters, I remember that Bhandpa, Ther, Swang, okay, and then one more, okay. So five Bhandpa, Ther, Swang, Ramalila, Notanki, okay. These were asked, and then it was asked 3 marks were there, and it was asked write 20 words on each of it. Then, and what are these? These are the traditional theaters, and total 20 traditional theaters are listed by the government. So you just need to go through the 20 traditional theaters. Usse zyada nahi. So don't feel like this ki that plethora of the information in some of the section. I don't think that that way UPSC would be asking. ठीक है? तो उसमें इतना मतलब परेशान होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. And as far as the culture part is concerned, so obviously that's, even if the difficult question paper was there, you were able to, you will be able to solve 70% from the class notes itself. And then if the easy paper would be there, so that might go to 85%. Still 1 or 2 questions which will be like कि वो करने लायक नहीं होंगे. जैसे last year when it comes to the easy questions of the ancient and medieval, last year in reality the questions were comparatively easy. And actually the ancient and medieval last year was a saving grace. Then, so जो हम देख रहे थे पिछले दिन जो questions, so उन questions में जो easy थे, majority of them were there from the 2023 itself. Overall the paper, because 7-year paper we were saying, so it seemed difficult, but then last year saving grace was the ancient and medieval. Then, and modern से questions ही नहीं थे in prelims. So just that, but very kiddish question was there, that Governor General of India 1833, okay, and so as the one of the question that Swadeshi movement, उसके अलावा कोई question नहीं था. So difficult होगा paper, please don't do those attempts. ठीक है? Then any other question, anyone else who wants to ask? कुछ भी related to your paper?
Sir, if we consider that Dasarajan war, Bharat clan and Aryan, then we will consider Dravidian and Aryan theory was feasible or not.
See, that this is not interconnected. And so see that what you have asked, that Dasarajan war as a reality, it was a reality. It has been documented that what were the things then. And what is the second part of your question?
Bharat clan, we can consider that it is Aryan, it belongs to.
Yes.
Then invasion of Aryan Dravidian theory, is it acceptable or not?
See, that it's now in the matter of the debate. There are n number of the people, okay, that it has been debated that what is Aryan and what is not. Then, so till the time it is proven or it has been incorporated into the state text and so as the CBSE text or NCRTs. So we will have to go with the old version. But then you have asked a right question that it is in the helm of the controversies, that was it really any Aryan invasion or not? But then still it hasn't been proven and it hasn't been accepted by the governmental text. So for example, that there were some changes, minor changes which were made in the NCRTs, particularly history text. And kab last year. Then, so total 22 to 23 informations were changed in the which history text. So starting from the hour past 1, which is in the class 6th, hour past 2, and then hour past 3, and so as the themes in Indian history part 1, 2, 3. So 20 to 23 informations were changed. So if the government is accepting that Aryan theory is a redundant theory, so that will be incorporated into the NCRTs, and then only for our exam purpose, then, so our exam purpose, it will become relevant. But till this time, when it is still in the helm of the debate and discussion, we cannot we cannot incorporate it as a right option or right thing in the exam. So abhi we'll have to go to the government attitude and stance.
If it is incorporated in new NCRT, then we will consider that.
Yes, then
thing.
Obviously, if it is incorporated in the new NCRT, one more thing you understand. See that whenever you are preparing, okay, you might be preparing for, you might be reading some state text also, but understand that the basis of the UPSC evaluation is the NCRT itself. Whatever information that will be given in the NCRT, that even if it is wrong, that will be marked as a correct by UPSC, because that is the central text and this is a central exam. So new NCRT, whatever new information is given, that becomes important. Then, so if it is incorporated, you can go ahead with it. Then anyone else? Any other question?
Thank you, sir.
किसी और को कुछ पूछना है? Yes.
Sir, as you told कि मतलब whenever the question is not attemptable, so just hold your hand. So can you suggest anything, because whenever I am going to attend the paper, so I cannot attend the question less than 70-80, means 80-85 is my average, whether I know the question or not. If the question I don't know, then definitely I am going to attend. So how to
once again the last part what you said, that 80-85 you are attempting, okay?
Yes.
Then उसके बाद
even if I don't know the question, then my mind instructing me to attend the question, because you don't know the
that's where now.
attend it.
So that's the game. So see, so it is a question of the death and life. Okay, consider it as like this. So now just keep in mind that what if, okay, that some of the words that we have discussed over here, that what if I'm attempting, and moreover, if it is a difficult question where there is no clue, then so where there is no clue, so then will it lead to, you will have to, देखो ये तुम्हारे mind का game है, that you will have to make your mind behaving in a reflex manner, whereby your mind must say to you that इसको attempt करने से मेरे को नुकसान होगा, ठीक है? So there where you need to hold the hand. That's what the discussion we are doing. कि we all have a tendency to attempt more because it gives us a immediate pleasure, immediate satisfaction कि मैंने ज़्यादा attempt किया है, अच्छा हो गया, ठीक है? मैंने पूरा question भर दिया, ठीक है? I have written that I have filled all the sheets, I have written good answer. So this is what you need to differentiate, that what is actually good and what is actually great in writing or in absolute numbers. So absolute numbers does not count in this exam. I have seen the people that who are attempting 17 questions in the 20 questions, but then still their marks are, in mains paper I'm telling you, their marks are around 115 to 120. And I have seen the people who are writing 20 questions but still not getting 95. So what matters, that what is the depth of it? If you actually don't know it, so make that, अपने दिमाग को ये believe कराओ कि अगर जो किसी में से clue नहीं आ रहा है, so then you need to stop over there because it is leading to the negative result. That's a reality. So see that one, since you asked this question, one thing that you need to observe in this 1 month, that whatever test, whatever papers that you have done, see your accuracy rate and then see how many questions you are attempting wrong. So understand that if anything less, that more than 30%, so मान लो that you have attempted 90 questions, ठीक है? And in 90, 60 correct and 30 wrong. So that is the last limit. If your incorrect answer, incorrect attempts are going beyond 30%, so then you need to work. This is what this practice you need to do at this point of time. You need to minimize your wrong answers to 20%. 20 से 25 के बीच में, that's how you clear the prelims examination. If it is more than 30%, very rare, you don't clear the prelims examination. If any one of you are in this zone, please work on it. 30% के beyond incorrect is not, that it's not welcome. And we are saying it with that regular basis, thousands of you give the paper. We see the results that how many of them have cleared. So we have, it's very easy in today's time with the help of AI to get to know that whose performance, okay, what he has done in the test, and then after the test, okay, in exam, we already know that after those all tests that in which zone he is, will he be clearing or not. Then with the graphs and the everything, with the help of the AI, we get to know, and those tables and everything. So there you need to create your own table, that what is your performance and then what is your wrong attempt, how much is your wrong attempt. So percentages you need to decrease, ठीक है? Percentage के चक्कर में questions के number ही ना decrease कर देना, 85 question attempt किया. See, this is also what happening in the CSAT paper also. Then that just because that 27 question, if you are marking correct, so you are qualifying the CSAT paper. and that's how people are just attempting 35, 36 questions. This is the place where they fail in the CSAT. So there you need to increase your attempts also. Then, so any other question? Chalo, so there is one more. Take it. Anyone else?
सर हम जब आर्ट एंड कल्चर को लेकर के प्रीलिम्स में क्वेश्चंस देखते हैं तो उसकी नेचर थोड़ी अलग होती है, बट रिगार्डिंग मेंस थोड़ी सी चीजें और टेक्निकल हो जाती हैं.
See that देखो मेंस का
तो मेंस के लेकर के कुछ स्ट्रेटजी या कुछ टूलकिट्स बताएं जो आंसर लिखने के समय हम
देखो मेंस में ना मेंस का डिस्कशन विल बी डूइंग सिंस दिस वाज द प्रीलिम सेशन, सो वी आर नॉट मतलब गोइंग इनटू इट, बट सिंस यू हैव आस्क्ड, सो देखो मेंस के क्वेश्चंस आर particularly art and culture questions.
Yes, sir.
So that 60% to 65% they are doable. Okay, general pattern in last 10 years. But then what is the scenario of the last 5 years? Last 5 years, 90% of the questions you are able, that you'll be able to do, you'll be able to write. Then so you'll be able to write. So in mains, it is not about that how much factual information you have, how good you are writing and how you are able to justify. So let me explain through a question. Okay, the question was that importance of the bull and the lion which is represented. So then you have plethora of the things to write about importance of the lion and the bull in the Indian architecture. In fact, so one of the information is that from the coinage of the India itself, that bull was always represented. And if you have studied, so Kushanas represented bull. Okay? Then in the Gupta period also, representation of the bull. Then Asoka's symbols are the bull. Okay? Then pillars were having the bull. Okay? So as the pillars were having the lion. And then there was a specific meanings also. So in Buddhism, you read about the specific meaning of those symbols. So for example, lion in Buddhism represented Shakya clan, but it was also the symbol of the power. Then what about the bull? So bull represented ascendancy. And what about the Hinduism? So it is the vehicle of the Lord Shiva. Moreover, the representation of the animals on the Indian architectural things, then it is also the representation of the cohabitation concept which is prevalent in the Indian society. So see that here your collective knowledge comes to the play. That you will सब पढ़ा है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है कि कुछ पढ़ा नहीं है, ठीक है, एंड फ्रॉम दैट यू विल हैव टू कलेक्ट दोज इंफॉर्मेशन एंड देन यू विल हैव टू पुट इनटू इट. सो दे आर नॉट आस्किंग स्पेसिफिक कि lion and bull, ठीक है, at this particular temple represented what. So then it becomes specific, but then they are asking a generic question. So their collative and collective information will come to play. And moreover in mains, it is also the game of the practicing the answer writing. It's not just about the information, but also practicing the answer writing. So that comes with a time. That comes with a time when you are already embarking on the path of writing answers. So एक बार prelims देके, you need to embark on this. You need to write the answers related to it. And mains में answer writing comes very handy. It becomes very effective. ठीक है? So you were asking one question.
Last year only new NCERT came on art and culture.
One new NCERT.
New NCERT.
Themes, not themes. Introduction to the Indian Art Part 2. Yes. That is on painting. So
like this, Binata ne painting on that question came like that. This year we can expect some questions from that NCERT.
We can expect. Okay. See that NCERT is already there from the 2021 itself. In September 2021 it was released, and after that, from that NCERT they haven't asked any question. But what's there before us? So 2021 में release हुआ था in September. 2020 prelims paper was in the October 2020. No question. 21 में भी no question. 22 also and 23 also. Only one question Jahangir, but it was in this 2017 itself, and that you already study. So if you want that to study that NCERT, since very less time is there, I would better suggest that go into the download the book from the NCERT website and look at the description of the images. That will be enough, because some part of this new NCERT where the modern paintings and then modern influences are mentioned, it becomes very clumsy. And clumsy also, and at the same point of time, the language is very complex. So that may lead to that little bit of dissatisfaction with the outcomes that you wanted, and it is not happening. So it's better that investing time in those areas, you invest it in other subjects. And just go through the images and read the description. Okay? So I think the questions are over, and so as this session of this ancient and medieval and art and culture is also over. सो अब मेरे एंड से कोई सेशन नहीं बचा है, ठीक है. आई थिंक एंशिएंट मिडिवल, आर्ट एंड कल्चर और मॉडर्न हो गया. सो विल मीट यू गाइज इन द QRM which is starting on the 18th. So I hope you are aware about it. So quick revision module 18th, 19th and 20th. We'll be meeting for the ancient and medieval, and 6th of May, 7th of May and 8th of May we'll be meeting for the art and culture module. Okay? You know na that what is QRM. So quick revision. So it will be extempore. I will not be giving you mic ki question पूछो तब तो खत्म नहीं हो पाएगा. But then bring your notes. ठीक है, and bring the material which will be given to you. So just go through it and it will be a rapid revision in the classes itself. ठीक है, done. चलो, so very thank you and I hope that you all do well. Best of luck. ठीक है, चलो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट सेशन में.